I'm Nitisha Jain, tax expert associated with Clear, and my area of expertise is income tax. Today, we all are here to discuss about the topic about the ELSS versus other tax saving investments and how you can make the right choice about this. So, before starting our session, I would like to welcome you all that you all have joined post lunch. So, we'll try to make this session a very interactive one. Post down all your queries in the chat box. My colleague Nupur is there to answer your questions over there. And after the session, once the all the PPT segments are completed, I'll also be taking up the live questions at the last. And I'm also happy to tell you that ClearTax has now rebranded itself as Clear to represent the whole gamut of services it is offering right now. So, yeah, without any further delay, now let's just dive into our today's agenda. So we are going to discuss about first what is ELSS, what are its features, how what are the benefits. All the brief about the ELSS will be discussing about that. Then the comparison of ELSS with the other tax saving instruments, how you can pick yourself the best ELSS fund using the Black app, which is of the Clear Tax. You can download it from Google, and it will help you in lot many ways that I'll explain you in later upcoming slides. Then, what is the best ELSS funds which you can invest in 2020-22? What are the additional deductions beyond ATC also? And yes, apart from the ELSS funds, in ATC there are other investments also. So we'll be discussing on that. Then about the medical expenditure and everything, we'll be discussing on all these topics. So yes, let's talk about the ELSS, what you understand about ELSS. So, when you embark on an investment journey, you are often confronted with questions about the products that can work best of you. So, one instrument that probably works on both returns and tax saving aspects is equity linked savings scheme, or I can say ELSS. So it is a diversified equity scheme that not only helps you in achieving long-term financial goals, but also helps you to get a tax deduction benefit of up to rupees 1.5 lakh for your investments under Section 80C. ELSS comes with a mandatory lock-in period of 3 years, which means you cannot redeem or switch during this duration. Therefore, it becomes extremely important to choose the right scheme for yourself to get the best results. Now, there are some benefits of the ELSS. What are those? First of all, it gives you the equity exposure. ELSS funds are equity oriented hybrid funds, with most of the investments done in equity and equity related products. So, you might already know the potential of the stock market and how it help you to generate excellent results on a long term basis. So, apart from ELSS funds, no other tax saving instrument under ATC offers such high exposure in equity. This is why, with an ELSS funds, the chances of capital appreciation are higher. This was the first benefit of the equity exposure. Then, second benefit in this is that it gives you the shortest lock-in period. So, all the different tax saving options have their own lock-in periods, right? Say, for example, tax saving FDs have a lock-in period of 5 years, PPF with 15 years, and NSC with 5 years. So, as compared to all these options, ELSS funds have the shortest lock in period of 3 years. While this means that you could redeem your fund after 3 years, it is generally recommended that you should remain invested for as long as possible for the long term capital growth. Then, third benefit to invest into ELSS is that it provides you better flexibility. So, as compared, yes, one second. As compared to the other tax saving investments options like ULIP, you get better flexibility with ELSS funds. Say, for example, a lot of investors, after investing in ULIP fund, are unhappy with the fund performance. So, in such cases, the only option they have is to invest in other funds offered by that particular ULIP. But with ELSS funds, you have the flexibility to move to the ELSS scheme of any other AMC or even other funds of the same or other AMC without getting into the deal that would last for multiple years. Then you most of the popular tax saving options under ATC requires you to invest a lump sum amount. But with ELSS funds, if you are investing into ELSS, then you get a SIP option with which you can start investing from a little as rupees 500 per month. So in a financial year, you can invest up to 1.5 lakh in ELSS funds to gain the ATC benefit. So you can break this amount into the monthly SIP. SIP means systematic investment plan. In monthly SIP of rupees 12,500 for a year to gain the tax benefit without investing a lump sum amount. Then another benefit would be that online investment. Another in is the ease of starting the investment. Most of the AMCs now have online portals, right? From where you can begin your investments within minutes. Unlike the other tax saving options which involve complex paperwork, ELS's online investment is very easy and quick. Moreover, after investing, you can also easily track your portfolio performance online only. So, the conclusion of all these things are if you are looking for the best tax saving options under ATC, understand the benefits mentioned above thoroughly, and the decisions would definitely be easier. Before investing, make sure that you first try to understand how ELSS funds work and the risk which are involved to avoid any kind of problems in the future. And always spend ample time to read the offer documents before you do the transaction or sign on the dotted line. Now the question comes that how you can invest into your ELSS. So you can invest in the ELSS the same way that you invest in any kind of your mutual fund. Easiest way is through the online investment service account. You can invest either as lump sum or via the systematic investment plan route. SIPs ensure regularity and discipline and reduces the risk to capital. You can invest as little as rupees 500 in an ELSS fund. While you can also claim the tax benefit up to rupees 1.5 lakh, you are free to invest as much as you like, but it's just that the minimum amount also you can invest is rupees 500. Now if we do the comparison of the ELSS funds with the other tax saving instruments, we see that the ELSS funds provides the shortest lock-in period of 3 years, and it gives you return of 10 to 12%. Then the tax on the returns which you will earn will be the long-term capital gain tax. Then coming on to the next tax saving instruments, there is tax saving FD. It provides a lock-in period of 5 years, and but it gives you return of only 6 to 7%. The tax rates which will be applicable on tax saving FDs will be the income tax slab rates which you are falling into. Another tax saving instrument would be the National Savings Certificate. It also provides the lock-in period of 5 years, gives you the return of 7 to 8%, and the tax which will be attracted on this will be the income tax slab rates which you are falling into. Then, if you are investing into Public Provident Fund (PPF), then your lock-in period will be of 15 years, and your returns will be 7 to 8%. There will be no tax on this. And if you are also investing into NPS, then in this, your lock-in period will be up to the age of 60 years. So it means that till the age of 60, you have to continuously invest it into NPS, and the return which you will get on this will be 8 to 10%. So what it will be partially taxable. Whatever amount you're withdrawing, that will be taxable. I like that. So as it is clear that ELSS funds are far better than the other tax saving instruments with the lowest lock-in period of 3 years and the better returns. They are also tax efficient. So if you are seeking good tax saving investment option, ELSS mutual funds are a great choice. Now, how can you pick the best options? So there is our Black app on Google. You will find, so download it from the Play Store and see. In when you will open the Black app, you will see that there are various kind of options available over there, and also the history that what are the return rates, what are the investment you can make into. So there are some kind of best ELSS funds which you can invest in 2022 years. These are some of them. So when you will open the Black app, you will see that how much tax you can save by investing in which kind of funds. All the options with the sequence wise, it will be available on the Black app. Equity, debt funds. If you want to invest into equity, the options will be available over there. If you want to invest in debts, those are also mentioned over there. If you want to invest into ELSS funds, then all the options which will be the best for you, those will be available. So as per your income, whatever your income is, how much you want to expend, how much you want to invest, accordingly make the right choice and invest it into the ELSS funds. And using Black app, it will be very easy. You can also do this thing by yourself only by starting just the SIP, as I said, of rupees minimum 500. So now you can also pick the best investment option. So for that, you have to keep in mind some of the pointers. Say for example, market cap composition of the portfolio. So the ELSS funds, like the multi-cap schemes that consist of mix of small, mid, and large capitalization stocks. However, in the case of ELSS, the fund houses have the liberty to create a higher concentration in the stock of particular capitalization. So ELSS funds with higher concentration in large cap hands. It has also having a greater concentration in mid or small cap stocks. These are comparatively volatile. It carry higher risk and at the same time have the potential to generate a greater return. Depending on your return requirement and risk appetite, you should select the appropriate mutual fund scheme that can help you to achieve your financial goals on time. Then you have to understand the concentration risk and over diversification. Different ELSS funds adopt different types of strategies for maintaining a balanced portfolio, right? In terms of, say, stock concentration and diversification. Some funds may invest a higher percentage of their overall portfolio in fewer stocks, whereas some may rely on the diversified portfolio and invest an almost equal portion in all the stocks in their portfolio. Say, for example, you are having a fund ABC which holds 100 stocks, and 5% of the total stock in its portfolio constitute 25% of the entire corpus. Such funds are highly concentrated and carry a high volatility risk. Let us understand this better by another example. With another example, so say for example, you have a fund named XYZ which holds a portfolio of 100 stocks, and the corpus is evenly distributed in all these stocks. So that is a well diversified portfolio. While a highly concentrated portfolio carries high risk, an over diversified portfolio often dilutes the return generating capacity of the fund, and it may fail to offer a good return even during a bullish market. Even when you're selecting the ELSS funds, focus on such schemes which are neither over diversified nor highly concentrated. Simply prefer a fund that has an adequately diversified portfolio. Now you have to also check the expense ratio of the ELSS funds. Expense ratio means it is the cost of the managing fund and the related the operating expenses. So higher the expense ratio brings down your return on the investments to that extent. So while investing in ELSS funds, look for the mutual fund scheme with a lower expense ratio, while the overall performance of the fund should be at par or above the category return. You have to also check the basic parameters. So you should also check some crucial basic aspects such as funds past performance, funds managers reputation, etc. So past performance may not always indicate that the future of the fund will be the same, but it often helps you in just estimating the capability of the fund management under different market conditions. Similarly, if the fund manager continuously performs well for a long time and there is no significant change in the fund manager, then it may indicate that such a mutual fund scheme may repeat its performance under the similar market conditions. At last, what you have to do is compare the ELSS funds with the other equity funds we have invested into. While investing in ELSS funds, check that out of your existing investments in the mutual funds and avoid duplicating their portfolio structures and investment style. So, choosing the different types of ELSS funds can help you to properly diversify and ensure a better return on investments. These all things will you will be able to find on Black app. Just install that app and scroll it down. Study that app thoroughly. You'll be able to find that each and every return, or I can say each and every portfolio which you will see over there, will give you brief description about that investments which you can make, all about all the thing. Then if you are new to investing in the mutual fund, you also may consider taking the help of seasoned investment advisor or invest with the help of mutual fund distributor. If you are well versed with the mutual fund world and can help the right mutual fund scheme, you also may prefer direct investments in the mutual funds. Whatever ELSS scheme you choose, just stick to it for a longer period to create the wealth. I would just say this thing only. And as I said, it also investing into ELSS will help you. It's not just making the high returns, but it will also help you to save your taxes, because it is this investments, whatever you will make into ELSS, will come under the deduction of ATC. So all of the options available under ATC. Now, amongst that, apart from ELSS, I'll tell you the other ATC investments also, what you can invest into and what will be its benefits. So talking about the other attributes of ATC, so in this, if I talk about the EPF, or so EPF is the amount employee provident fund. This amount, whatever investments you will be making into EPF, it will be reduced from your salary income by your employer only, and that amount will be going into your account, and it will be shown in your form 16 of part B, and it will be coming under ATC deduction. So EPF will be done by your employer. Then if you have any kind of life insurance plan, so every income taxpayer should have life insurance policy, not just for tax exemption, but also for securing his or her family. So if you have taken a life insurance premium policy, then you can get the maximum tax benefit of rupees 1.5 lakh. Then if you are having any unit linked insurance plan, so if you are looking for long term investments, then ULIP is a good tax saving instrument. It offers insurance to your investments. Then your premium is invested in the debt and equity market, offering you the tax free returns. So you can expect good returns from a ULIP only if you invest for 10 to 12 years. So ULIP is a tax saving investment tool that allows you to switch between the equity and debt. Then another option of the investment under ATC is PPF, Public Provident Fund. So it is one of the most preferred options for the tax benefits. But this long-term savings scheme has a lock-in period of 15 years, and it can also be extended for a block of 5 years. So the annual investment limit has been increased to 1.5 lakh. PPF account can be started in bank or post office branch. You can invest anything from rupees 500 to 1.5 lakh maximum as installments or lump sum amount, whatever is preferable to you. Then it is the one of the best tax saving instruments for people who are not covered under EPF, are self-employed professional, or are risk averse investor. Then you can also invest into Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana or National Savings Certificate, or if you are also paying children's tuition fees, then that amount also will be coming under ATC deduction limit. But altogether, if you are investing into ATC plus ATCCC and ATCCD, then your total deduction limit will be capped up to 1.5 lakh only. You cannot claim over and above that limit. If you are investing more than that, then too your deduction limit will be capped till 1.5 lakh. So this was about the ATC. Oh, and yes, one more thing. If you are having a home loan, then your home loan will consist of two components: principal component as well as interest component. So the interest component will fall under income from house property head, and interest amount up to rupees 2 lakh. You can claim it under that under section 24, and the principal repayment which you are making, that will be coming under 1.5 lakh limit of ATC. And along with the principal repayment, if you have also have your stamp duty or registration charges, you have paid the amount for that also, then that amount will also be included under ATC, but only in the year of payment. So these were the ATC investments. You can invest as possible maximum amount, whatever you want to invest into, and reduce your taxes. Then if you thought that, okay, fine, you have invested fully into your ATC limit and your 1.5 lakh limit has been exhausted. Now still you want to invest more. So you can invest it into ATCCD 1B, which talks about the NPS scheme. So there are two types. So NPS, if you are concerned about your retirement and are also looking forward to plan with tax saving benefits, then NPS is the best tax saving instrument. It is known for its investor friendly features, low cost structure, and flexibility. Here you can invest minimum amount of rupees 6,000 in installments, or at least 500 rupee or as a lump sum. Being the investor, you get to decide how to allocate your money for your investments in corporate bonds or equity. So, in this NPS, if you are investing into NPS, you can claim additional self contribution up to rupees 50,000 under Section 80 CCD 1B. Additional 50,000 means apart from 1.5 lakh limit, you can additionally claim 50,000. So from two sections, ATC and ATCCD 1B, altogether you can claim the deduction of rupees 2 lakh and maximize your tax saving. So NPS has two accounts, as you can see in the slide: NPS Tier 1 account and NPS Tier 2 account. NPS Tier 1 is the default account, Tier 2 is voluntary. So withdrawal from Tier 1 account is not permitted, but from Tier 2 it is permitted. You have tax exemption, as I said, up to rupees 2 lakh in Tier 1 account, combining both ATC and ADCCD 1B. But in Tier 2, it is 1.5 lakh for the government employee, and for other employees, it is none. Minimum you have to contribute in Tier 1 account is rupees 500 or 500 or rupees 1000 per annum. But in Tier 2, it is only rupees 250. There is no limit for the maximum NPS contribution. You can contribute whatever amount you wish to, as per your investments, as per your salary structure, and as per your whole planning, how much you want to invest in the plans. So this was about the NPS account also. From the two accounts, you can altogether claim rupees 2 lakh benefit. Then talking about the other tax saving avenues apart from ATC. So in that, if I talk about the ATD, which says the medical insurance premium, if you have taken any kind of medical insurance premium for yourself, your spouse, or your children, and your age is below 60 years, then you are eligible to claim maximum up to rupees 25,000 under Section 80D. And if you have taken medical insurance policy for your parents who are senior citizen, which means age is above 60 years, then for them medical insurance premium limit will increase up to rupees 50,000. But say if you haven't taken any medical insurance policy for your senior citizen parents, but you are incurring a medical expenditure for them, then in that case also for your uninsured parents, you can claim maximum 50,000 rupees as the medical expenditure claim under this section only. So this was about the medical insurance thing. Then, if you are incurring any kind of medical treatment for handicap dependent, and if their disability is 40% or more, but less than 80%, so in that case, you will be getting flat deduction of 75,000 rupees. But if the disability is 80% or more, then you'll be getting flat deduction of rupees 1,25,000. If you have taken the medical expenditure or incurring the medical expenditure on self or dependent for the disease which are specified under Section 80 DDB, then in that case, lower amount will be allowed as tax exemption. So if the age is below 60 years, then the 40,000 rupees or actual amount paid, whatever will be the lower amount, will be allowed as your deduction under 80 DDB. And if age is above 60 years, then in that case, rupees 1 lakh or actual amount, whatever will be the lower amount, will be allowed as tax deduction. Then, if you yourself are suffering from any kind of disability, and in case of physical disability, including blindness or mental retardation, then you'll be allowed to get a flat deduction of rupees 75,000. But in case of severe disability, your deduction amount will get increased to 1,25,000. And if you have taken any education loan, so if you are taking a loan for any kind of studies, say for foreign studies or in India also you want to study, then if you have taken a loan, so uh, only the interest part will be allowed as the tax deduction under Section 80E and not the principal part of the EMI. So if you have taken a loan, then the interest part will be allowed as deduction. And the good thing in this section is that there is no maximum limit of how much you can claim the deduction. Whatever will be the interest amount which you are paying on the education loan will be allowed as the whole amount under ATE, but not the principal part of the EMI. Only thing is that whatever the interest which you are paying for a period of 8 years will be allowed as the tax deduction. So it is always advisable that if you have taken an education loan, try to repay within period of 8 years. Then only you'll be allowed to get the full interest paid claim. So this was all about the deduction parts. Then how you got to know more about ELSS, why ELSS is good amongst the other tax saving instruments, what are its benefits, how you yourself can invest in ELSS or any other kind of tax saving instrument using the Black app. I request you to download that app and see that how it is useful for you. Then, apart from ELSS, there were more other tax saving instruments also. We discussed about that. What are the other tax saving avenues apart from ATC also? We saw all the sections. We covered almost all the things. I hope you got a clarity about all the topics in from these slides. Now I'm happy to take up some questions also. Most of the questions will be answered by Nupur. Some of questions I'll be taking up now. Do we have further questions? Hitesh, yes, for these disease which are specified under 80 DDB, you have to provide the bills for them. If it is a specified disease, and then only you can claim the deduction under this section. Wherein you can claim home loan benefit if the property is. Neeraj, if you have taken an education loan starting from July 2016, I hope all the questions. I hope all the questions have been answered. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining.